Cartoon Obsession. Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and I am the man with the Cartoon Obsession. It's been quite some time since I've done a review of a specific episode of a show, so join me as I look at the Hey Arnold episode, Pigeon Man.
Okay, now follow my hand.
The episode starts with Arnold on the rooftop of his boarding house with his 3 carrier pigeons. He sends his pigeon Chester to deliver a note to Gerald, but Chester struggles while flying. When Gerald arrives later, Chester returns, but he is unable to control his flight and falls to the ground. Luckily, however, Arnold manages to catch him. Understandably concerned for Chester, Arnold wants to find someone who can help him, and that's when Gerald tells the kids the story of the Pigeon Man.
The legend of the Pigeon Man has been handed down from kid generation to kid generation for as long as I can remember, which was about since I was 3. Take it away, Gerald.
The gist of the story is the Pigeon Man is a crazy psychopath who isolates himself with a large flock of birds. The kids try to tell Arnold to stay away from him, but Arnold decides to do what he thinks is best for Chester and goes to see Pigeon Man. Sure enough, when Arnold goes to his house, he finds out that Pigeon Man does indeed live with a very large flock of birds, but he doesn't seem mean or crazy. He asks Arnold to leave Chester with him and come back the next day. When Arnold tells his friends about the interaction, they simply can't believe it. Arnold returns the next day to pick up Chester, and he asks Pigeon Man why he's alone and if he ever gets lonely. Pigeon Man, who tells Arnold to call him Vincent, explains that he became fascinated with birds as a child and everyone else thought he was odd, so he felt out of place among people. Arnold takes him out for pizza and some of the neighborhood kids see them. They get upset because Arnold is hanging out with Pigeon Man and go to his house to mess with him. However, they end up inadvertently releasing all of his pigeons. Arnold and Vincent go back to the rooftop of Vincent's house and they see all the damage that had been done. Arnold tells him that his birds will come back and Vincent says he knows they will. He understands birds, but he doesn't understand people. Seeing how people came and destroyed his home, Vincent decides that he doesn't belong in the city anymore. He thinks he doesn't belong anywhere around people. But he thanks Arnold for showing him that there are good people in the world, and he has some pretty heart-wrenching words for him.
Arnold, don't be sad. You've taught me that some people can be trusted, and I'll never forget that.
Then a bunch of pigeons grab hold of Vincent and fly him off the roof into the sunset as Arnold watches on, and that's how the episode ends. Now, it's no secret that Pigeon Man has been widely regarded as one of, if not the best episode of Hey Arnold, and I cannot argue with that one bit. This show has been known to touch on subjects that feel very real and relatable, not to mention how dark and downright depressing it can be sometimes. This episode is a prime example of that. Pigeon Man, Vincent, whatever you want to call him, he's not shown to be a bad man. In fact, he's a gentle and kind-hearted man who looks like he wouldn't hurt a fly. Yet just about everyone in the city either hates him or is afraid of him just because he's different. That's something that people have been dealing with in the world for a long time, and stuff like that still happens to this day. If someone's a genuinely bad person, that's one thing, but not liking someone just because they're different is something that has to stop. Not everybody has thick skin, especially in today's society, and you never know how people are going to react to stuff like that. Now, with that being said, I'll address the elephant in the room. There is a popular theory that Pigeon Man flying off the roof at the end of the episode is supposed to symbolize him committing suicide. And while I can see why someone came to this conclusion, it has ultimately been debunked by the creator of the show himself, Craig Bartlett. Not only did he state in an interview that Pigeon Man wasn't dead, but he made a cameo appearance in Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie, so he was obviously not dead. I would have liked to have learned more about him as a character, but I enjoyed Vincent for the short amount of time he was seen. I also think this episode handled the topic well. It showed how the kids didn't like Vincent and went to mess with him not thinking of the consequences, which is extremely realistic. Also, Vincent's delivery of his final lines in the episode is top-notch. You can even see him tearing up before he leaves, which I had forgotten about until I recently rewatched the episode. He's passionate about birds and wants to go out and help them, and he also hopes that he finds someone else like Arnold. There are good people out in the world, but it's difficult to find someone who's essentially a saint like Arnold. Overall, this goes without saying, but Pigeon Man is one of, if not my favorite episode of Hey Arnold. and that's why I give it a perfect 100 out of 100. If you haven't watched this episode in a long time, or even if you've somehow never seen it before at all, I cannot recommend it enough. This episode is timeless, it's beautiful, and it's absolutely perfect.
Remember, Arnold, always wash your berries before you eat them. And fly toward the sun.
Goodbye, Pigeon Man.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any other cartoons, anime, or other animated works that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know. After all, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out my social media pages, audition for an outro, and join the official Cartoon Obsession Discord. The links for all of which are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
I'm Peridot, and thank you for watching Cartoon Obsession.